Oh, hey guys. Welcome to the art of kit bashing in Unreal Engine. All right, I'm super excited for this video. This is a big part of how I learn. It's my favorite way to learn is to grab effects that other artists have done from one kit and then take them from a different kit and then bash them together. That's what kit bashing is all about. And to follow along with this, if you guys want to get this file that I'm using, you have to go ahead and sign up for the class. The Uber shader that I'm going to use for these effects is available for free. But if you want the specific textures and the particle systems and like material instances and things to follow along the way that I'm doing it today, you need to get the full class. Otherwise, this is just going to be fun information for you to learn about how I like to work in Unreal, and maybe it'll give you some ideas on your own projects of how to like mash different pieces together. Okay, so we're going to take a look at all these simple emitters over here and find something that we like. Let me get the camera here. Whoa, okay. Let's see. This over here looks really nice. I like the wispiness of it. It gives me an idea for sort of like a magical explosion that has like bluish, purplish wisps coming out. Let's see. Do I want it to start blue and then go purple? Probably, I'm imagining in my head now. I don't know. I think starting more with like a vibrant pinkish purple kind of thing and then fading off to like a dark blue would be cool. Really, there's no right answer. I could probably play with both, but I don't know. Let's try that out. Or maybe even cyan. Cyan to blue could be good too. Okay. Guys, let's go on a journey together. Let's figure this out. So what I want to do is I want to select this fellow here, and then I can see where it's at by hitting this magnifying glass. And then what I'm going to do is I've already got a folder ready to go for it here in the shared folder under particle systems. And you guys can't quite see it. The second option says copy here. It's either move here or copy here. I'm going to just copy it over there so it leaves the original intact. And it gives me this to play with right here. All right, so I'll crack this open, double click on it. Oh, first thing, it's open in the other window, but one minute first, I want to call this Kit Bash Magic. Boom, VFX. You'll notice there's already another Kit Bash effect in here. That's a failed video that we will not talk about. I had to warm up some on this. That's all I'm going to say. All right, so we come over here to the Cintiq. All right. So there we go. I say Cintiq because this is like my Cintiq screen. The other one's my regular monitor. I don't know if that makes sense to you. You guys watching, you don't know that from just seeing the footage. So now you know. Anyway, so we have the wispiness going on here. One thing I want to change about this, you'll notice that in the environment, all of these are looping and they're just playing over and over and over again. That's not actually how you want to build your effects for in-game. In-game, you want them to like fire once and they're done. But if I did that, then when you load it in this file, you wouldn't have this really nice like palette of effects going off for you to choose from and see what you wanted. So I wanted them to be looping in here. But now that I'm kit bashing it, it's important that I make it fire and forget. Like it fires once and it's done. All right, I don't need this. So just you can click on a group and hit delete to get rid of it. But okay, so we've got this going on. When you first load in, I should have mentioned, it's like sideways. It's always like straight forward looking at the particle system. That's really problematic if you have a very flat card because it just won't show up at all. So always make sure to move your camera up. You can see over here with the X, Y, and Z, although Z is impossible to see. So let's make the background a little brighter. There we go. So you can see that Z axis pointing up, but you can kind of get oriented there using that bottom left little doodad. Okay, so I said I wanted blues and purples. So let's just come in through here really quick because I don't have other aspects in yet. I don't want to really tie down my color just yet. I'm just getting in the neighborhood. So it starts with a sort of blown out yellow. You can see it's blown out because the green and the red are above 1. And so that's going to make it glow with the camera. All right, so what I want is blue. So I want blue to be up, and I said I was starting pink, right? Right now it's like kind of cyan-y, maybe 1. Okay, this is important. So you'll notice that the center of my gradient is white. That means that it's basically going to be more or less white on the texture, and then the colors as it like glows or emits like a glow in the camera on the camera are going to be that pale pinkish color. That's not what I want. I don't want white. And the way you get away from white is by getting the three values R, G, and B to be different from each other. Right now they're all too close. They're 1.6, 1, and 2. That's too close of a range, and so they're turning white. So like if I make the green like 0.5, it gives me much more like a saturated pink there in there, because the red and the blue are carrying it, making it like that. Maybe that's too pink. Maybe 1.4. Yeah, okay, sure. Why not? There's our first value. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I'm still doing it though, despite my best efforts. Okay, so like a deep purple. Sure, looks good. And then blue. We just want blue. We want it to be dark. That's nice and dark. Okay, so now we're asking, we changed these three colors. There's no more colors to change. It's still not what we want. It has like this weird whitish, like yellowish green around the outside. So some of that old color is coming through. Normally I would look for initial color. That's not even a thing here. I think I know what it might be. Let's check the material. There's a fun feature in the Uber shader that puts a colored Fresnel around the outer edge of a mesh. And Fresnel is basically like a nice gradiented outline around it. So I suspect that's what's happening. So if I click on this here, I'm going to come on over to my texture. It's dissolved torus. I need to make a duplicate. Sorry, it's not a texture. It's a material instance. I need to make a duplicate of this just like I did before. I'm going to put that in the material instances folder, copy here. And I'm going to rename it to something really creative, like dissolve torus scrolling 2. If I can get there. There we go. Now, what's funny is oftentimes I'll open up this material instance and I'll start making edits in here, which by the way, colors right here. And let's just make that dark blue for now. Sure, why not? Would it be better as cyan? No, I'm leaving it blue. Okay, let's save that. And then I come back here and it's not different. Well, the reason it's not different is because I don't have torus scrolling 2. I have torus scrolling still. I never actually swapped it out. I do that all the time. I don't know if you guys do that. That's my story. Okay, so here's both screens. So I've got this selected here, and then I hit the arrow here next to that thing. Oh, I'm gonna make this bigger so you can see it easy. This arrow here. And now, well, it has blue in the for now, but you can't really see it. Let's pull this into the map. I'm gonna hit browse right here. So it'll like bring it up in the selection, back to the other screen. Okay, pull this out here. And there we go. So we got the wispies, and they're basically just purple wispies, with that blue really not showing up at all. And this is a fun thing I like to do. This is why making effects is so nice to have two monitors. If you guys don't have two monitors at home, that's fine. Just set it as a goal someday. If you're gonna get really into effects, having two is really nice because we have a lot of tools up at once. And so checking it on one screen and then on another becomes really, really valuable. Okay, so maybe, what if I put pink? No, what if I did put cyan in there? Well, maybe it's too dark. Yeah, now it's showing up. That's kind of pretty. Maybe a light blue would have shown up too. Yeah, okay. I like that color. That nice bluish, let's like focus this here because this deserves some focus. That nice bluish Fresnel just on the edges there. Feels like there's a light being cast onto it or something, like magical light. We're just getting started. This is just one emitter. I'm excited. I don't know if you're excited. Okay, so we hit okay to that. Save it just for good measure in case Unreal decides to crash on us. And the background here is lighter than the background in there. So I want to get it into a similar range to what we're dealing with in game. even if the lighting in here doesn't match up. Okay, so we want to get another particle system kit bashed in, all right? So how do we do that? Well, first thing I did was duplicate, but you can't duplicate an emitter over just so easily. So what you need to do is export it. So let's see now. I think the next most prominent thing that's going to be in this effect is probably going to be the flash. What kind of flash? I like this flash a lot. There's some pretty standard flashes as well if you want something pretty rudimentary. With these here, I have some tutorials on my YouTube channel you can check out where, with like Lux's Ultimate, I play with different flashes like growing and shrinking and changing colors, and you can certainly play with those. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's just show it. I can also just grab both. Okay, so we'll grab this one. I'll open that up. And then this one, I'm guessing it's just this right here. Open that up as well. And then this one too. I'll just double click on it here. That'll open it too. All right, so now I've got 3 open. Now if I come over here, let me close that for now, that material instance. All right, so I got the flash, the growing flash, and the sparks. Cool. So now the key to getting these over is I need to browse to this one. Now this is important. So you'll see over here, it's selected, right? Now with that selected, when I come over into one of these and I like say, oh, these already have 2 each. Yeah, okay, so I gotta choose. Do I want that one or out and in? I'll do the one growing up. So I'll hold shift and, oh wait, doesn't work holding shift. Okay, so I right click, I say emitter, export emitter. And because this one was selected, it exports it to whatever was selected. And then I can come over here and I can emitter, export emitter. So outer and inner fuzzballs are there. Now that thing that I was talking about where they're not fire and forget is messing me up. So I need to go now and change it so that they fire one time instead of firing on a loop. And that's under required. And then I come down here. I don't want, delay. Yeah, I don't want any delay right now. I might later, but for now, I just want everything to play right away. Oh gosh, it's looping. Okay, loops one time instead of 0. If it's 0, that actually loops forever. And so this was 0, so I want that to be one time, and I want this to be one time as well. So now they're all playing together, and the flash is getting lost in the smoke. So maybe I do want the smoke on a delay, maybe not a 1.3 second delay, maybe like a 0.25 second delay. Okay, the other thing that's messing me up, and this is all stuff that you guys are gonna run into completely, like constantly, you're gonna run into this. The emitter durations need to match across all your emitters for it to loop in here. So it's looping in here, even though we turned off looping, right? The reason it's looping is because like it's detecting that all of the things have lived their life. It's like, cool, start over. Now what you'll notice is if we come over here, it does not loop. There it is right there. It stopped looping because in game it fires once and that's it. Now, what's cool about this is if I come over here, there's this button that says restart level. If I click that, see it plays it there in my viewer. Hit G so that it. Now these are in sync. It's flashing and then radiating out. And that flash needs to be up off the ground. But I'll get to that in a minute because it's clipping through the ground. My point is, in game, it's going to work as expected. In the previewer, it'll get messed up because the emitter durations are off from each other. And so it gets out of sync after a while because it's restarting them in different times. Does that make any sense? That actually doesn't make any sense. I think it was only out of sync because I didn't need to hit restart and that fixed it. I'm sorry, guys. I messed up. Yeah, because these emitter durations are definitely different, but it's definitely staying in sync. But if you want, you can still make them the same if you're OCD like me. 0.75 is fine. Let's leave everything at 0.75 as a standard. See, now it's messed up, but now it's not. Oh, I see why it was 0.35. It's because it does like a multiple puffs. See? But it's delayed too much. And this is where the kit bashing piece comes in, because like you're playing with just values at this point, trying to make it pretty. And let's not do it so long. There we go, like a flash and just a little bit of flash. And let's play with that flash. Now we need to do a location because it's clipping through the ground. Remember over here, it's like you're seeing half of the light. It's really small. You're seeing like half of it, and then it comes up. Whoa. Where is it? Like right here? Restart level. Yeah, that's not what you want. If I hit G, I can see where it's actually located. Okay. All right. Popping back over. Let's do a location node or location component, initial location. All right. So this is simple. I don't need a max and a min. I just need a constant. And I just want it to be, that's the z-axis. So I just want it to be up on the z like 100. And these are unreal units, which is like a centimeter. So that would be a meter off the ground. Maybe half a meter. And then I can hold shift, and then that one will be at the same location. Let's just do 26. Yeah. Now it needs a bit more punch for my liking. To do that, let's change the size. Maybe 140. And notice that I only have to change one of the sizes because it is a square type. So up here it says square. So that means that if I just change one of them, it will maintain a square shape and just scale up like so. Color definitely needs a rework. Pink, again, we're getting that white. I do not want white, so I will change this to below 1. And then I'll change this to a purpley pink. And then just trying to be consistent for now. You can always switch it up later, but keeping my colors pretty much samey. All right, we'll change you to the pink. And you are like the outer fuzzball. So this is the bigger glow. So maybe the bigger glow can just be bright, whitish, whatever. Bright whitish, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see how that looks in our level. Okay. Ba-bam. Now something I can do in the shader is I can actually give it a soft edge as it collides with the ground so that it won't get that thing going on. I do want to raise it up. I'm just going to bump the location from 20 up to 30. And then, yeah. So at least the hot core is like up above, right? Now what I can do is I can create another instance of a shader. So let's see, ball 01 add and ball 01. So these each have a different, why would they need a different shader? Oh, because one's like meant to be more additive and one is meant to be, you know, that's true. The outer, I'll probably get better results if the outer is darker. Like if it sits dark. And if I put it, so I'm using the left and right arrows. So if I put the outer one over here and I just make it darker. Let's check that out. Yeah, that's a pretty color. Putting a nice dark saturated color behind your bright point light, it's going to make it nice. That is the, yeah. Sorry, I just checked something. I'll show you what I was checking. I hit the S button here, which solos a group, just to double check that it was the larger one that I was making, that more dark saturated color. Okay. Anyway, I want these to not clip through the ground so much. So I want them to be soft against the ground. So to do that, I browse over here to ball of 1. All right. And then, oh, there's ball of 1 add. Perfect, perfect. I'm going to duplicate both of these. Oh, so they're already in the shared materials folder. So what I'm going to do is right click on it and just say duplicate right here. So I'm going to say ball of 1 soft. And then I'm going to duplicate this one and call it ball of 1 add soft. Like so. Open up both of these and remember to, let's see, ball of 1 add soft. I'm going to come back over here. Ball of 1 add, put that in here so I now have the soft version. And then in here, you can also just like type in, you can like click there and you can just say, oh, there it is, ball of 1 soft. Or you could type it in here to find it. All right. So now the materials are hooked up right. Oh, we still haven't moved these over. Oh, I can close this one because I've already pulled stuff over from it. Here, let me just browse to that and quickly just emitter, export emitter. Oh, I could have done export all. That would have done both of the groups at the same time. Today I learned. All right, close that, and we'll hide the sparks for now, so that we have them there because we know we want them later, but I just didn't want more tabs open. Okay, so we are in ball of 1 add soft, and we want an alpha feature, so we want depth fade, and by default it fades over 150 units. We moved it up 30 units, so it probably only needs to go over 30 units or so. I'm going to guess. Save that. Oh, it's compiling shaders. So you got to wait for a second. This is the life of an effects artist, waiting for compiling shaders. Okay. So did it work? I think it worked. Okay, so here it is. And it has a nice faded edge as it approaches the ground. Still feels kind of like straight across. Could play with that later. But the important thing is it's not outright broken. It more or less works for our purposes. And if you do it up high, if the higher your camera, the less the problem, right? Because the card rotates up to face you, which means it doesn't clip into the ground as much. So I'll just do that a little closer. You can see it there. So top-down game, this you get away with certain things that you don't as much with, like a first-person shooter or like a third-person over the shoulder. Anything lower to the ground, you have to consider collisions with the ground plane and like flat stuff a lot differently. Okay, so now for the sparks. Yeah, so now these are playing on loop. So that's the first thing we're going to change. All right, restart. Yeah, ooh, hot, hot, hot. Color over life on those. Hopefully we don't have to make a whole new emitter for these. If we do, that's fine. Maybe we'll do blue. Sorry, cyan. And maybe they'll turn kind of bluish over their life. So like, maybe they're like the inverse. Because they're kind of made of something different than like the glowy stuff, right? Oh, sorry. Guys, it's looking good. I didn't show you what I was doing. I'm so sorry. Okay. I just came in and I unhid this. And then I came into the color over life and I changed it to this. And I changed it to this. And then I changed this last one to like a dark purpley thing. And I like the results. Okay, back over here. Start level. Yeah. Oof. Nice. Okay, so that's coming out good. Let's change the delay a little. I'm changing this delay like crazy over here. The delay on this, it just feels a little bit laggy to the rest of it. Where am I at? Okay, emitter delay 0.05. So basically like almost no delay, essentially. That is like a nice little poof of magic. Did I get it? Is that going to be where it's at? Yeah. Oof. I like it. Okay, it's cute, right? Let's make it a little more epic. Got this ground crack over here. Focus on that with F. All right. Yeah, let's pull that one over. All right, go into there. Make sure this is selected here. And so that when I come over here and I say, oh, there's dust and cracks. Oh, see, it's like straight on with the camera, like I was saying. So if you rotate the camera up, you can then see it. What's the dust? Oh, it's like a subtle thing. It's pretty cool. I'll take them both. Export all. Yeah, get those off of the loop. It's messing up everything. Color over life. Yeah, we'll make this like glowy blue magic on the ground. Glowing blue dusty things. Fades to like a burnt purple. I don't know. Okay, it starts here. I think we've established that this really hot cyan works nicely. It's like a deep blue. It ends on pink. Everything ends on pink. Yeah, like it goes to that like rich, dark, purpley pink. Okay. Now it's probably too big, so I could generally just scale it down with the initial size. No, that was terrible. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead, because what's happening now is that all the cracks are just tiny and it feels like I scaled down a larger texture that wasn't supposed to be scaled down. That's not what you want to do. So we're going to leave that at, what was it, 550? I don't remember anymore. Check here. Size 500. Close you, thank you. Okay, 500. And what I can do instead is I can play with that dissolve. So the dissolve is driven by the alpha and how sharp the alpha fades off. So what I can do with this is I can say with color over life, hide the color. All I want to see is the alpha. So this is going to go from fully on to, wait, nope, it's going to start off but very rapidly appear to fully on to very, very slowly fading out. So if I select these ones here, fully on won't be all the way out. It'll just be like maybe halfway out. So let's see if I can move these to like, oh. Well, I guess I'll just move one at a time. I'm actually not super proficient with the graph editor here. It's not the most intuitive thing for me. All right, some keys I'm probably missing. Yeah, so there we go. Well, it's doing what I wanted it to. But maybe it should go like fully on for just a minute. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Probably should paint a custom texture for this. a custom ground crack and not this one. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of cool. It's like it's breaking up this thing that it's kit bashing, right? Just playing around with stuff. That's the other thing with kit bashing. Sometimes I'll kit bash it together and it'll feel pretty good, except I need to paint a custom texture or do something else like that's from scratch. But that's great because like the general effect is working. You just have to change a couple things manually to get it where you want. Okay, I've messed up my camera perspective. Find my little fella over here. Yeah. All right. And restart level. Whoa. That is some serious Z sorting issues. So Z sorting is a problem where the Z-axis is referring in this instance to like the axis towards the camera or something of the sort. And when two planes are like right at the same height, it can't decide to render one or the other. So it kind of just flickers between the two. Let's fix that right now by adding to this awesome dissolve crack a camera offset. And we'll pull it towards the camera about 10. What's cool about this is it actually moves it towards the camera on the axis, but it scales it down. So it'll pull it towards you, but scale it down. So to you, the size stays more or less the same. Well, it stays the same. And I'll use that same camera offset on this other one because I know it's flat on the ground too. And now let's see if that fixed it. Yay, it fixed it. That is a harsh dissolve, but that's kind of cool. It's kind of rad, guys. Okay, so those sparks are kind of getting lost. Now I want to move the sparks to be out from a cylinder instead of a single point. So right here, they have no location on the outward sparks. So what I'm going to do is we'll do location cylinder. And under my cylinder properties, let's see, I'll solo the group because it's kind of getting lost. My cylinder properties, I want them to have the velocity coming out from them, and I only want them to be from the surface. So now they're going in all kinds of directions. So the initial velocity needs to, I'm going to have to go in and, again, do something custom. I can't just like quickly change the value because what's happening is, okay, so the cylinder, right? It's a ring. It's not like a ring. Well, around the ring, there's faces of like normals that are pointing like out away. And so normally when you check that velocity box, it's like go out. But that's only if you have velocity on just one axis. And it's like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to go out. So what I'm going to do now, because I might mess this up and it might be worse than before, is I'm going to actually duplicate this emitter and hide it. So because what I'm going to change is I'm going to really mess with all these velocity values. Like I'm going to say 0 to all these and just see if it gets me. Nope. That's actually, so if the normal, so the normals go all the way around. So I want to make sure that it's in the direction of the normal, not in perpendicular, because then as it goes around, it'll shoot like sideways, which is, I think, what's happening now, more or less. I only roughly understand how this stuff works, guys. 200. Nope. Excuse me. Nope. That's kind of cool, though. A lot of accidental cool moments. Did I, because it was in negative, was that probably causing problems? Let's see. Maybe I just turn off velocity. Yeah. That looks better. Velocity scale then becomes my new controller. Whoa. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay. So just turn off velocity and then do it all in here. Let's see. I want it to be bigger than 50 though. The radius. And I don't want the height. Well, the height's fine. Oh, you know what I want though? I kind of want them to go up. So I do want a little bit of velocity up. But I'll have that in a second. First, let me get this working. So like 100. But I don't want them starting, if they're starting in the middle. Why are they doing that? Why you do that? Let's see. Oh, it's because they're stretched. Okay, so they're starting out at the outer point, but they're stretched so far that it's colliding back into the center. And we can change that with a pivot offset. So I know what they're called, but they're always hard to find. Let's see. I just think for a second. Yeah, it's under location. You can't see it. It's off the screen, but it says pivot offset. It'll add this little node for you. And that changes the center point. Either sideways on the x-axis, up and down on the y-axis. And so I want to do like maybe negative 0.375. Whoa. That was trippy. Did you see that? They're not moving far enough. I'm realizing now that most of the motion was from the scale. So because I changed the pivot, the scaling does weird things now. It's actually really cool. So I want a little bit more velocity. $30. That's like a stutter step kind of thing. It's kind of funky. Okay. How does this play with the rest of it? It's kind of weird. All that timing was in the scale of them, not in the velocity of them. That's funny. Well, I guess they have velocity too. But. If I had a little bit of upward motion. And some drag. Whoop. Maybe not that much drag. Whoops. I feel like they're getting out of control. The cylinder needs to be like way smaller. It's playing slow. Whee! Okay. Making effects is fun. This is like mesmerizing. Okay. I broke everything. And it's fixed. So that's what I mean by like save your work, because you never know when you're like, oh, actually it works better this way. Oh, the cylinder is breaking stuff for me. Sorry. Yeah, you can go around and play around with it and like change the scale over life, because right now it's like scaling up and then back down and then it wobbles some, which is actually a pretty cool motion. But to just bring it back around here, we can see in here that we've got this nice, cool little like magical hole in the ground kind of thing got blown up. It's a nice little magic grenade. I don't know. It's pretty satisfying. So that's kit bashing. And if you want to learn more about kit bashing, I go over how to do that kind of thing with these larger effects. So like we have in the class, we have not only all these little ones, but we also have these nice big ones where you can come through and see how to create and pull pieces from these larger ones, which is pretty nifty if you're into that kind of thing. And honestly, in my opinion, it's the best way to learn, because you're avoiding a lot of headache and heartache of being lost in the tool and just wondering why it's not showing up at all. And you have something that looks good from the beginning versus like you don't know by the time you're done making it what your original goal was. You kind of forget it because it was so slow and tedious to build everything from scratch. So highly recommend you guys pick it up. And I hope you learned some fun new stuff in this class and in this tutorial, sorry. And I hope you also learned stuff in the class. That would be great. But until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. Thanks.